Hello, this is Ron Climer. I'm back to talk to you about prospecting. Now, if you've watched some of my previous tapes about prospecting, I hope you've got this message. You got to be prospecting, because if you don't prospect, you don't have any prospects. You don't have any prospects, I don't care if you got the best presentation in the world, you ain't going to have anybody to present it to, so you're not going to make any money. So, I want you to get out there and start prospecting. Now, we talked about calling for sale by owners. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if you've tried it. It works. We talked about calling expired listings. It's practically a miracle in the prospecting in the real estate business. So if you're not doing that, I don't know how to get you to start, but let me just tell you, I made a ton of money calling expireds for well over 10 years and wish I'd started 10 years earlier. And calling foreclosure victims. There's another ton of money I've made from calling foreclosure victims. They're gonna list with somebody, it might as well be you. Now, I can understand if maybe they're a little too, aggravating for you because they got their own special problems. But you gotta be calling some prospects. You gotta do something to call prospects. And if not, just call people you know and say, hey. But here's what I want to talk to you about today. What I want to talk to you about today is how to get yourself from where you are to where you need to be. Now, let me see if I know where you are. Let's talk about yesterday. It's the only day I care about. I don't care about last week. I don't care about tomorrow. You tell me, how many prospects did you call yesterday? If the answer's none, lean forward in the chair and pay attention. And I'll bet the answer is none. If the answer is none, that's not going to work. Here's the best way to get yourself to call people. Make an appointment with yourself. Make an appointment with yourself that I'm going to sit down and call some prospects at, now by the way, I did this for years. My time was 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when I started every day. I started calling the expireds every day at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that was a ritual. It was just something I did. I did it every morning. I was in the office, 8 o'clock, I'm dialing and smiling. Now, I might not dial and smile but 10 minutes, or I might dial and smile for an hour and a half. But I started at 8 o'clock, and that's what I want you to do. By the way, if you're an evening person, I'm not. I'm a morning person. But if you're an evening person, then you get in the evening. Now, I want you to make yourself a simple little tool to help yourself. And here's what it is. I want you to take a wire-bound notebook or even a legal pad. This is no magic to this. And I want you to make a chart. I hope y'all can see this on the video. I want you to just draw vertical lines down the wire-bound notebook or the legal pad. By the way, the reason I want you to do it on a wire-bound notebook or a legal pad is I want you to keep it. I don't want you to throw it away. I want you to keep it. I want you to keep it for a long time. I kept them for years. Now, first thing I want you to write down is what time did you call whoever you called. What time did you call? Let's just say 8:01. That's who you called. What was the source of the call? Well, an expired listing. So put that there. Did they answer? I just simply wrote yes or no. Yes or no. And the result, made appointment. Or didn't make appointment. By the way, I used to, and whatever excuse they gave me for not making an appointment, I would write down. Let me tell you when you'll get late in the year. It's getting late November, early December. Everybody says, oh, could you call me back the first of the year? I used to write down first of the year. I did two things. One thing, I figured out the answer to that objection. That was the best thing I did. The other thing I did before that, I used to call them all back the first of the year. And you'd be amazed how many appointments I get because they told everybody else the same thing. But, you know, now 8:03, you decide to call for sale by owner. They didn't answer. And this is the most important thing. You write down that time you called. And you will teach yourself how long you can sit at one sitting and call people. And you'll be amazed what a short time it is. All of a sudden you got to go to the bathroom, you remembered a major appointment, a building catches on fire, something happens to stop you from calling after. You'll figure out how many minutes if you take track of this. But do this, and you can add to these vertical columns if you want to. And I think I had a couple other columns when I was out there doing it. But that's the basic. But here's what I want you to do. Make an appointment with yourself. Start calling. Now, if you're brand new, I don't want to tell you to put a minimum amount of calls or a minimum amount of answers. But that's what I used to do. I used to have a minimum amount of answers. Because see, you can call for 30 minutes and nobody answers. By the way, make sure you know how to leave an appropriate message that they'll call you back. And I think I covered that in one of the previous tapes. But be sure you do that. But, you know, say you set yourself, well, even one. You set yourself one answer as a minimum. That's not bad. You might have to make 5, 6, 7 calls before you get an answer. Maybe not, but maybe. So if that's your goal, get one answer. Well, whatever. But I want you to start doing this. Get yourself a wire-bound notebook, turn it into columns, put the date at the top of the page, and just start dialing and smiling. And I promise you, you will amaze yourself. Thanks for watching. We'll be in touch.